I grew up in a community where rugby league and cricket and chicks were the things to do.
Did I get bullied at school? Yeah, all the time. I was princess. I was the guy that people picked on because he wasn't like all the other boys. You know, he didn't like PE, things like that. But he, you know, I really excelled in drama and stuff like that.
I was 17 years old and bullied by heaps of other kids around me, and teachers didn't care that people called me names.
When I was in high school, I was bullied. Was called a fag, gay.
People would be picking on me about it, saying, oh, you're fag or you're queer, but carrying on to me about it. I mean, getting my boyfriend down as well about it.
There was bullies in school, definitely, that, you know, teased me for being a faggot and for being a poofter and a ballerina. And
I was bullied about being lesbian and having a relationship with one of my best friends.
I was pretty much scared about the bullying, what would happen, because so many people, you know, even straight people got bullied on it just for acting camp.
At school I was bullied and I was called a faggot and gay and all that.
I didn't come out at school. I actually came out when I was 18. I was too afraid to come out at school.
I insisted that I had a girlfriend and insisted that I start a family.
I was married for many years, and I'd actually come out to her before we got married. We'd been together about 7 years, and she said to me, oh well, if you want to live a good Christian life, well then you just have to make up your mind.
How did I feel before I came out?
Shit scared. My best friend came out a couple of years before me, and he told me, and I thought it was a ploy to get me to come out.
It was hard, kind of hiding who I was.
It was never easy for me to be normal.
I felt almost like I was living a lie, like I was not being the real person that I should have been.
It feels like I was hiding a major portion of my life.
I was feeling really confused and unsure of myself before I came out. Really didn't know what it was to be feeling that I liked boys and girls.
There were times that I personally considered the idea that life was too hard when driving down the road, back streets, and thinking that if I just swerved my car off the road right now and drove into a tree, maybe that life would be easier.
Although I knew my friends were loving and supporting, I still had a lot of fear of them seeing me in a different light and treating me differently.
And I always felt that I was living a lie, and it was very difficult. No matter what successes I had in life, I always felt, because I wasn't true to myself, that everything I did didn't mean a terrible lot.
Yeah, it was hard. You know, I did try to commit suicide a couple of times. I went through a really rough patch where I lost my dad, and you know, everything kind of, I was homeless, everything kind of came down to me.
I didn't really understand that I was gay until maybe probably about 15, when I first tried to tell my mum.
Possibly the scariest time of my life. Telling my parents. I nearly collapsed in a heap. It was that scary.
The first person I told was my mum. It took me a while to work up the courage to tell her, because I was always afraid that she'd be pretty upset about it. Beforehand, she used to always make gay jokes and stuff and rip on gay people.
My mum was like, oh, we've all been there and done that, honey. I'm like, oh, fantastic, thanks Mum, thanks for your support.
I was kicked out of home by my parents when they found out that I was gay. So I come from an Italian family, and I thought they wouldn't handle it too well, but they were amazing. I have 3 siblings, all younger. I was the firstborn. They all took it very, very well, so it's all been great. I guess not all coming out stories are bad. Sometimes they're really, really good.
And so I decided to tell my mother, and I told her over the phone. It was Christmas Day, and she, like my family are very, you know, typical Australian family, very yobbo, very straight down the line, and their reaction was really surprising. So, you know, I thought that they would probably never speak to me again or disown me or think differently of me, but they didn't, and they accepted it.
When I was about 16, I came out to my friends at high school, and most of my friends were accepting at that point, and I was friends with most of the people in my year, so I was probably one of the lucky ones that didn't come across so much criticism towards me being openly gay, and I was the only openly gay person in my high school.
Actually, I had a boyfriend that was in a grade lower than I was, and everybody kind of knew about it, but no one wanted to confront us about it. And we decided one day that we'd make a scene of it. So one day we were having a school assembly, we walked to the front of it and we made out in front of the whole school.
And I came out in year 10 at school, and you know, it wasn't that scary. I thought it was going to be so scary, but the people that I came out to were really accepting, and in fact there were straight people in my year that would pinch me on the arse.
I was 17 years old, I believe, and I came out as bi first. I didn't come out as gay straight away, even though I always was gay my whole life.
Like all the girls at the school, a lot of the guys at the school actually started talking to me a lot more. I didn't have that many friends at the beginning of it, but after it kind of cooled down a little bit, I had so many more friends. School was amazing for me and I loved it.
I lost a few friends, but they're really worth losing if they can't accept you for who you are.
God, like, you know, a couple of years after school, it's just like, this is so much better. This is so much better than being at school and being bullied every day. It's like, if only I knew back then to just go, oh, look, I'm not going to listen to what you're saying right now. I'm just going to think, no, in a couple of years' time when I'm not surrounded by people who are jealous or are hiding themselves or just don't want to see what's truly inside.
I mean, I'm very, very glad I pushed through it. And to anyone out there, and to other young male dancers especially, like, don't listen to the bullshit. You know, there is life after high school, and I think that's pretty much the most important thing of all to everyone. Like, high school is the most smallest, insignificant, you know, thing in comparison to your whole life. There's so much more after high school. So if you're feeling like everything's a little bit consuming in high school, there's a whole nother life.
High school just, it fades away. All of the stuff that happened to you back then, you just brush it off as life experience. You can't let that rule you.
I met people that took me in and looked after me and helped me to accept the person that I am.
It was amazing how supportive the people were when I actually came out.
There will be those people who will love you, whether that's friends or some family, or whether it's your work colleagues, or, you know, some sort of network will still support you.
I've come to deal with who I am, and that's probably the best thing I've done for myself. Not neglecting who I am, but accepting who I am. So I'm more accepting for myself, and because of that, people become more accepting towards me.
It helps when you find someone that's means a lot to you and that you can spend the rest of your life with.
Don't give in, no matter how much it hurts or how much you can't stand to be yourself. Don't give in. It's so much better.
It's so much better.
I now know that it gets better, and it will be okay, and eventually one day you will realise that the only reason that life throws these challenges to you is so that one day you'll be a shitload more fabulous than anybody else.
I've moved on, moved out, gotten on to an incredible life with an incredible woman. It gets so much better. It has gotten so much better.
I wouldn't have changed a thing. Like, I did go through those hard times, but I'm a better person because of it. And yeah, looking back on things now, I never thought that I'd be in the position that I am today, but I am, and you will be too. You just got to get through it.
Pretty much 10 years later, I'm now working as an architect. I finished school, I went to university. I have an amazing network of friends. Unfortunately, my relationship with my parents and my family haven't gone that much better, but I have a great network of friends who now I call my family. So
I'm having heaps of fun. It's amazing. It really is. It's gotten so much better since high school, because now I can just go to clubs, people, you know, like me, and it's amazing. It really is. It's definitely gotten a lot better.
Life has gotten better for me as an adult. I'm a lot more confident in myself. I have a lot of supportive friends around me. am very fortunate to get paid to do what I do, which is singing and dancing and choreographing, which I love. I'm very, very fortunate. Not everyone loves their job, and I do, so life has definitely gotten better for me as an adult.
And yeah, it does get tough, and I've been through it myself, but just reach out to friends that care about you, reach out to friends, reach out to your parents, reach out to people, just anybody, just reach out to someone, because it does get better when you get older.
I would say to every person out there that's contemplating suicide or self-harm or hating themselves because they're gay or bi-curious, or just experiencing feelings that they think is something normal or not accepted, it's just like, be who you are. Don't for one second think that you're not amazing and beautiful and special, just who you are. Just give everything you've got and love life in every minute that you have, because who knows what our life's going to turn out like.
I know it gets better, and I really want you to know that don't think that life is ever that bad, that it doesn't get better, because it really does.
In the end, the ups always win over the downs. You just need to be positive and focus on the good in your life.
And people will accept you, because if they love you, they'll accept you, so it's always going to get better.
But it gets easier as you keep going. And it does get better. It's not as bad as it seems when you're young.
I've personally lost friends when I was younger, and it is honestly never ever the right thing to do. There is always someone out there that cares about you.
And life's gonna get better.
It gets a hell of a lot better.
And believe me, guys, it definitely gets better.
It does get better.
It gets better, it does, I promise.
It just gets better.
It gets so much better.
It gets better! And it gets better.
Things get better. Hang in there, guys. Stay strong. It does get better. I can promise you that.
Champagne, holidays, and Gucci shades, pumping up the speakers from Miami to Ibiza, while the girls are getting wet and the boys are dripping sweat. Yeah, this track is getting hot. My girls are rocking out their Louis Vuitton heels, roll with their $1 million, billion dollar bills. Runways in Milano with Giselle and Donatella, drinking vodka in the VIP, making lots of money. Get on the dance floor, I wanna see you sweat. On the dance floor, I wanna see you sweat. Shut the club down, wanna shut the club down. Shut the club down.